Please welcome Rosemount High School's class of 2019 student speaker, AJ Tabura.
Hello, I'm just gonna put my smart water right there, and thank you, Mr. Roback, for the amazing introduction. It's amazing to be here, and a huge good evening to the school board, our wonderful faculty, the friends and family that joined us tonight or are watching live, and of course, the graduates. You know, it feels like, it feels like just yesterday we were all panicking over high school. I remember my older friends telling me horror stories about how crazy high school was. You know, a 10th grader actually told me, and I quote, "You gotta be careful, because some seniors like to walk around the hallways and just sucker punch freshmen." And that's when I knew that high school was gonna get very interesting. But you know, I walked in on the first day of school, ready to throw down and get a 4.0 GPA. Neither of which happened, but that's okay. You know, obviously it was just a story, but I think stories are interesting. See, do you want to know the great thing about stories? It's the way we communicate and summarize our lives and experiences. It all breaks down into narratives. We view our world as a collection of anecdotes. So I thought for this speech, I would talk about some stories that summarize our time here at Rosemount High School. And because this is a graduation speech, these stories are going to talk about the past, the present, and the future. The first story. I remember back on the first day of freshman year, Mr. Erdman told us that high school shouldn't be the best years of our lives. You know, he was right. Sometimes they weren't. But instead, he said that we should treat high school as a launching off point. And he was right about that too. Do you want to know the great thing about stories? Every good story starts with an exposition, a beginning to the story that molds heroes. And this school was our exposition. This school gave us opportunities to become the heroes in our own stories. Regardless of how your time here was, it is undeniable that the past 4 years have shaped us to be who we are now. Growing up, I was unathletic, which is surprising given my intimidating and towering form. But regardless, Rosemount has gave me so many options to join groups. We had clubs, sports activities, and classes that fit our interests. And not every school can say that. But luckily enough, Rosemount can. We had the fruit of opportunity, and all we had to do was grab it. It was like a choose-your-own-adventure story, except every choice was a good one. Our story's exposition is only possible through the hard work and dedication of our faculty and staff. You'll be hard-pressed to see a more dedicated group of people. We are successful because of our teachers' belief in education. Our stories were able to begin because of our teachers' belief in us. You know, we must thank every person that has helped us through this exposition. Teachers, parents, and friends. We are here because of them. So let's give all of our supporters a warm round of applause. The second story are the stories that we, the students, carry. We are all products of our life stories. And do you want to know the amazing thing about stories? There's always conflict, a challenge that needs to be overcome so the hero can grow stronger. And everyone in this room has faced conflict themselves. Whether it's the stress and anxiety we feel from tests, friendships coming and then going, or the pressure to perform well in whatever activity we're a part of. We've all been held back by roadblocks, but we knock those roadblocks down. In this crowd, there are stories of students who are the first in their family to graduate high school. Stories of students who turned a 1.7 GPA into a 3.2. And stories of students who, despite the challenges, prevailed. See, Rosemount is built on this passion that drives its story of fighters forward. And we should be proud of the stories that we have created. After 4 long years of studying, of writing, and of turning in school G assignments at 11:59 on the dot. We've made it. And thank God for that. See, in our own ways, we've all beat the odds. In our own ways, we have all found success. The fact that we are here today, after 4 long years of work, shows our perseverance. See, our challenges and our hardships should not define our story. We should be proud to be from Rosemount, because we all have different backgrounds, but we all have one thing in common: a fighting spirit. And the final story that I want to share has not actually been written yet. This story is about the future. See, the legacy of high school is what we do after it. Do you want to know the best part about stories? If you're the author, you can write whatever ending you want. And we are all the authors of our own stories. And all we have to do is choose to put pen on paper. I want us to all promise that we'll make the most out of our future. Because I've seen you all. The potential is unmistakable. And no matter where you go these next 4 years, just know that you have the ability to make this world a better place. Periodically, Mr. Roback would speak to us and announce the Rosemount value of the month. The positive attributes we need to succeed and make the world a brighter place have already been instilled within us, in our narrative. See, we live in a time where doing what is right is critical. And we all have what it takes to do what's right. Because when I look into this crowd, I don't just see graduates. I see our future entrepreneurs, doctors, engineers, welders, teachers, social workers, electricians, and I'll say it, I think we have a future president in there. Mr. Alba, our choir teacher, told us as freshmen that a year from now, we're going to wish that we started today. We must be willing to write the next chapter of our story, to take chances and see where they lead us. See, the real great thing about stories is that they tie us together. So always remember the tales from the past, treasure the adventures that we are making today, and write new narratives in the future. Do it so the next time we see each other, we can share some news about our stories. So congratulations, class of 2019. Now let's walk out those doors the same way that we came in. Together as a class. Together as a community. Together as one single story. Thank you.
Good job. I'm gonna make you take it out of that. You did great. Wonderful.